and being mindful. Okay. And silence on a video. I remember I did a thought for the day on BBC, and it was about silence on the BBC. And I was doing, you have 90 seconds, you had 90 seconds to do it, or yeah, a certain amount of words. I can't remember what now. But it was about silence. And I actually paused for 3 seconds. I can't remember, there was a sentence and leading into a pause, a silence for 3 seconds. And I looked at the producer, or the presenter, and I went, then I carried on. And at the end he said, "What was that?" I said, "That was silence." I said, "Just 3 seconds of silence." So we can't do that. They took it out. 3 seconds. We can't have silence on the BBC. Oh dear. And I remember when I do when I start the mindfulness courses. Doesn't matter. It might be a workshop, might be an 8-week course, it might be a retreat. The first thing I do, I show people to the seats. Obviously, you welcome people, and then before it all begins proper meditation and all that. And, which I love. I must say, I do love meditation and silence. But what I do, I don't do anything. That. I do about a minute, sometimes 2 minutes of just that. Because what are people expecting? They come along to a meditation course or mindfulness retreat or whatever it is. They're expecting what? Information. We're information junkies. I'll come back to that, okay? I just want a quickie today. Very simple, another simple Italian dish. Onion, probably a bit smaller than that, but onion. 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. You need pine nuts, just a handful of pine nuts, or almonds will do, and you bash them up in one of these. I love bashing them up in one of these things. And lots of herbs. I've got chives, got a little bit of rosemary. Rosemary can be strong, so you have to be careful with that. I've got parsley, basil, and what's the other? I think that's it. Oh, mint. Mint. Not too much mint either, though. And you want you want that, a saucerful. I've got a bit more of it that I was pretending to chop when you arrived. So you put, you want the herbs finely chopped, but chop the onion in there for 2 minutes. Oil and butter, just 100 grams of butter, maybe a bit less. A couple of drizzles of olive oil, maybe 4 tablespoonfuls or something, 3 tablespoonfuls. Soften it for 5 minutes, 2 minutes for the onion. Put the garlic in, just soften it. And then basically you can put the rest in, except the herbs. You can put the pine nuts in, yeah. And also what you want is 2 tablespoons of stock. Yeah, that goes in. Put lime juice, just squeeze from a lime, and that's it. And then you mix it all up. The herbs you put in just before you eat, and you just stir it up. You don't want to cook the herbs. You just heat them, just get them warm. That's all you do. We are having it with toffee, which is a delicious, I don't know if you can see it. We you have it with spaghetti or tagliatelle, yeah. And lots of Parmesan cheese in it on the top. Or you can even put it in a mixture. Okay. But where was I? Mindfulness. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh yes. So people come along and they're expecting information. They're expecting me to tell them how to do meditation. He's going to talk about it. going to give me information about it. Now, my angle is, if you want to know the taste of a lime, now you can ask somebody about it. You can read a book about it. Not many books about the taste of limes, but you know what I mean. You Google it, you'll find something. Pages and pages. Information. And that's what people think. A lot of people, not everybody, think meditation or mindfulness, you can get it through information. Now, I'm not saying information isn't important, but what's important here? How do I know the taste of lime? I taste it. I actually, oh, that's it. It's tangy, it's this, or whatever. It's like the taste of garlic. You can read about the taste of garlic. You know, ask somebody. We're better off just tasting it. Same with New York. You can read about New York. You can look on the internet about it, get all the information about it. Oh, that's New York. It isn't. Just that me telling you about the taste of a lime isn't the taste of lime. Are you with me? So it's the same with mindfulness. So what I do, before we've even started the teaching, we get a taste of mindfulness in silence. What does that do to you? It throws you back on your own experience. So you become aware of feeling uncomfortable. Some people do in the group, they feel uncomfortable. They become aware of their own thoughts. Is he all right? Is he a nutcase? Is he a bit, is he all right? And they're looking around at each other. Some people might notice the sound of the bird or the distant traffic, or they feel anxious or calm. Oh, this is nice. So they become aware of their own experience, which is what mindfulness is. Awareness of self and world. Now, if that's not what mindfulness is, then educate me, please. It's not difficult. Well, it's not complicated. It can be difficult because we always want to go into the head and to think about life. We want to think about a life that we don't have instead of experiencing the life that we have through the senses, hearing, seeing, tasting, food. Look at the colour of that. Look at the colour. And then you taste it. You can smell it. Mindfulness. It's a celebration. And you can become mindful or aware of how you get hooked into your thinking again and again and again. Okay. So that's my sort of one for today. Please share this, guys. Please subscribe and like it if you would, but like a few more views if we can. Yeah, and I love. This is what I want to do more of these, but do send some comments over. Like, oh, I tried it this way. I added this, or I took some of that out. Share it with us. Let's get some conversation going, rather than just being me sort of doing this. Which I don't mind at all, but do send some comments over and on the channel. So there we have just a super herb dish, delicious herb pasta. Yeah. So it's a little moist with the olive oil and the stock and the lime juice and the butter. You get a little bit of a sauciness. Yeah. Or remember salt and pepper. Always salt and pepper. Okay. And knowing I'll put a little bit more, I'll put a little bit of chili in it, but you don't have to do it. It's up to you. Play about with it. Play with it. That's how I've learned to do this. I just put a little bit of that in. I like to be a bit bolder, put a little bit more in. But I test it as I'm going along, so you don't overdo it. The world reveals itself in silence. Wisdom comes from silence, not from eh. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.